good morning, and very good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome to VUEGRAPHY. I know. I've been out and not making much videos. There are several reasons for me not making videos, and I can completely understand that you guys were expecting new content, new information from this channel. Actually, since last couple of months, I've been very busy in establishing my own company, opening up my own company, which I will announce later. Uh, Also, I was busy in shooting, editing back to back so much that I wasn't able to really get time to do editing, because video editing, shooting and video editing, taking photos and then editing, traveling, as I'm just one guy. So right now, of course, I have support from my fellow colleague, but we are living in two different countries, so the coordination and schedules are um, sometimes really hard to get. Anyways, let's get to the business. Let's get to the content. What we are going to talk about today. All right, I'm going to talk about Nikon and the telephoto lenses they are making. What exactly I mean to say when I talk about telephoto lenses. The thing is, uh, Nikon and Canon, they both have patented, and actually they made some really strange lenses. I know that Canon especially designed some compact telephoto lenses, and 5-6 years ago, one of the electronic consumer appliances show, that's where they demonstrated the 300 millimeter lens, which was very compact. Same applied by Nikon. Nikon introduced a compact 300 f4 PF lens. Then they applied the same scenario for 500 millimeter 5.6 PF lens. But before that, 300 f4 PF lens, that's the size of 24 to 70, something like that. So the size of the 300 f4 PF lens was very small. PF lens is basically is a new design. So it's a compromise on the aperture, but that when using a different lens configuration and technique, the overall volume of the lens shrink so much that, again, at the cost of reduced aperture. So instead of f2.8, Nikon made f4 for 300 millimeter, and which reduced the size from this big all the way to this, and the overall volume, the weight, everything was become lightweight. So you can, it's good for traveling. So 300 f4 PF lens was very much good for traveling. It was very much compact, nearly equal to the size of 2470 lens, 2.8, literally like that. Normally, like I said, it's big, 300 millimeters this big when you're talking about 2.8. So that was the very first lens. The second lens which Nikon made was 500 millimeter 5.6 PF lens. That's the size of 70 to 200. So imagine, typically the 500 f4 was like this big, literally this big. So, but 500 5.6 PF lens was size of this, literally the overall volume. So from this to this, nearly to the size of 70 to 200. So that was one of the part. Then Nikon made some more cool lenses, which was or even in the Z mount. For example, your 800 millimeter 6.3 PF lens. That's also part of the. That was also 800 6.3 PF lens. Very lightweight. I use that lens. Then they recently made 400 4.5 S lens. They didn't designated it as a PF lens. All right, they didn't put the PF logo on that 400 4.5. That 400 4.5 literally the size of 70 to 200, and that lens is insanely lightweight, only 1.1 kilogram only. Your typical 70 to 200 2.8 lenses are heavier than 1.1 kilogram. That 400 millimeter f4.5 was so lightweight, literally I should call it featherweight. It's so lightweight. So Nikon is basically making a very nice move for targeting the targeting photographers who don't have deep pockets, but they still wants to have that long telephoto lenses so they can go out and shoot wildlife, sports, action, photojournalism. But of course, they are compromising on the aperture values. Instead of 2.8 or f4, they are getting 4.5 or 6.3 or 5.6 or f4. So instead of like 2.8, they are getting f4. For f4, they are getting 5.6. For 5.6, they are getting 6.3. So there is a trade-off for the aperture values, all right, but the overall volume, the weight, and the performance of the lens is becoming better and better and better for every next iteration. So I believe that this move by Nikon, which has no other camera companies is offering, not by Canon, right? So yeah, Canon did make 800 f11 and 600 f11. So yeah, Canon did that for their RF mount, but the overall aperture was very, very narrow, f11. Nikon is basically either reducing the aperture by one stop or like two-thirds stop. Like instead of 5.6, they are giving you 6.3. All right, for 800 millimeter PF. Same goes for the 500 millimeter. Instead of f4, they're giving you 5.6. So like one stop, and like this 400 4.5, it's instead of 2.8, they're giving you 4.5, which is like 1.3 stops. But the overall package of these new lenses, they are very fast at autofocus, just like their expensive 2.8s and expensive f4s. Similar autofocus speed. They were very sharp, just like their the bigger aperture siblings. They are the overall volume is very small, the overall weight is very small, the price is very less. So you are getting 5 advantages on these lenses. So I believe because I have used all these lenses. So and when I use them, I was like, man, this is the really great deal. You don't have to worry about go for the like 300 2.8 or 400 2.8 or 500 f4 or 600 f4 or 800 5.6. Instead of going those big, you can get easily these numbers. For example, for the Z mount, that 400 4.5s, that's 3.2 K dollars, like $3,200. All right, the same 400 2.8 for the Z mount with 1.4x teleconverter, that lens is $14,000. So imagine you are sacrificing only 1.3 stops of light. Okay, the bokeh is not, you are going to get from 4.5 like 2.8. Okay, both are 400 millimeter, both for the Z mount, but $3,200 and $14,000. The autofocus speed, the acquisition, the track, everything is the same. In fact, the contrast of 400, I use both lenses quickly. I was one of the very lucky people who got hands on 400 4.5 for the Z mount, 400 2.8 with 1.4x teleconverter for the Z mount, and 400 2.8 EFL for the F mount. I use all these lenses. The 400 4.5S got better contrast and compared to 2.8, but 2.8 was giving more background blur even at 4.5. So 400 4.5 and 400 2.8 at 4.5. I shot the same scene, both lenses at 4.5. The 2.8 was giving me more separation, and that was kind of surprising. But that was a quick test. I will go more deeply once I get my hands on the 400 2.8 with 1.4x teleconverter. Down the road, we'll see how it goes. But I'm just sharing with you this quick thoughts. Again, these lenses, these compact lenses, which you are getting at the cost of the reduced aperture, don't worry about the aperture separation, because having a telephoto, having the longer focal length will try to compensate. You are getting, like I just mentioned this, right? You are getting the fast autofocus, reduced price, weight, a sharpness, and every new technology built in, the best coating and everything. You're getting everything in these new packages. Yes, of course, at the cost of the reduced aperture values. But now, uh, the new cameras like Z6 II, like Z9, or D6, you are able to compensate, those that lack of aperture will of course will make you increase your ISO value in order to attain a certain shutter speed if you are shooting sports action wildlife. But these cameras can handle insane amount of high ISO values, so that aperture will cover by the high ISO of the camera. Of course, but there are professionals who really uh, do not want any kind of uh, compensation, or they cannot tolerate anything and they want to go with those big glasses. Then you end up paying $14,000, $15,000, insane amount. But if it covers the cost, sure, why not? Go for it. If you have deep pockets, or you are sponsored by a company, or your company is buying those lenses for you, go for it. But traveling with those heavy lenses is a big thing. I used 400 4.5 heavily for for some time. Sorry, and I can tell you that lens was really really lightweight, ideal for traveling, ideal, very fast autofocus, very nice contrast, sharp edge to edge, insane lightweight, insanely compact. So this new line of lenses, which is Nikon working, and many people have raising their eyebrows, why it's reduced aperture? Well, you are getting a lot of benefit in return, which I already mentioned in this video. So I highly recommend all those enthusiasts or professionals who are traveling or who want to carry lighter load gears with them on any expedition, or hiking. You guys should go with these lenses like 300 f4 pf, 500 5.6 pf, 400 4.5 s, 800 6.3 pf, and this the new upcoming lenses, all those. So look for these glasses. They are cheap, they are lightweight, they are very good when it comes to overall output, and they are easy to carry around. I'm going to wrap up this video now by concluding this, that if you're a traveler, you should look on there, have a look on these glasses. They're good for you. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in future with more content, and I'll try to keep up making new content often. Take care. Bye.